Clerk, colleagues, today we are celebrating Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and we have a number of special guests here in the chamber to honor. Each board member has chosen someone special for their work and everything that they contribute to the quality of life here in the city and county of San Francisco. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Supervisor Norman Yee to introduce our special commendations, and we will proceed at that point.
Thank you, President Bree. Colleagues, in 1978, President Jimmy Carter signed into law declaring May 4th to the 11th as the Asian and Pacific Islanders American Week. But in 1991, President George H.W. Bush signed into law declaring the entire month of May as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Historically, the APA community has contributed greatly to the social, economic, and cultural development of our country and our city. Yet, their contributions were not always recognized, and they have faced significant discrimination over the years. APA immigrants have worked alongside the Irish to build the Transcontinental Railroad, labored in canneries on our coast, toiled in our laundry service industry, restaurants, nail salons, nurtured our young children in child care centers, cared for sick patients as nurses and healthcare workers, all to improve the quality of life for their San Francisco residents and neighbors. They have also been public servants such as our late Mayor Ed Lee. My own family is part of this legacy. My grandfather immigrated from China to San Francisco in the late 1800s. My father, who was born in China, was a paper son, so he had to go through this whole act of dealing with the Exclusion Act during that time. My parents owned a grocery store in the Castro neighborhood in the 50s and the 60s. I'm a proud son of a hardworking immigrant family. There are countless others who face great hardships trying every day to make a better life for themselves and their families today in the U.S. Let us remember that unless what unites us and not divide us, we are all immigrants of this country at some point in our family's heritage. As San Franciscans, let's stand by our immigrant brothers and sisters, and today and during this month of May and the APA Heritage Month, let us celebrate and remember the many contributions of our Asian Pacific American brothers and sisters. As part of recognizing each district's honorees today, my office reached out to the Center of Asian American Media, CAM, in anticipation of their annual film, food, and music festival. This year, CAM Fest is generously giving a pair of free tickets to each of the honorees to attend the opening night gala at the Castro Theater this Thursday, featuring the documentary on Congressman Norman Minette's life. In honor of the APA Heritage Month, I am so excited that this is the first year CAM Fest, which highlights the diverse talents of the APA filmmaking, music, and culinary community, coincides with APA Heritage Month. I encourage everyone to enjoy the rich offerings provided by CAM Fest, the Public Library, and so many other organizations this month by checking the APA Heritage Foundation website, apasf.org. So before I introduce my honoree, I would like to bring up, if you are here, Claudine Jung, are you here? Come on up. It seems like this is tradition for Claudine to address our chamber during this month. Claudine.
Vice Yee, members of the board, it's one of our community's happiest month of the year, the month of May, I want to thank Supervisor Yee for reading into the record about the history of the month. Indeed, this year we celebrate, join the rest of the country in celebrating the 40th anniversary of this particular month, where we try to make sure that we celebrate the history and accomplishment of Asian and Pacific Americans in the San Francisco Bay Area. Supervisor Yee mentioned about CAMFest. I also want to say that on Thursday, during the opening night of CAMFest, we will be honoring former Congressman and former Secretary of Commerce and Transportation Norman Minette for his work 40 years ago. It was because of his leadership at the time, back in 1978, that today we are celebrating the 40th anniversary. So indeed, we want to encourage everybody to attend CAMFest for the whole month. And because it is the 40th anniversary, the APA Heritage Foundation has teamed up with CAMFest, the Asian Art Museum, the San Francisco Public Library, and the Asian Pacific Fund in providing a month-long of celebration activities. We have actually compiled a calendar of events on our website, as Supervisor Yee mentioned, and here are also some copies, and we would like to leave it for the public. So please enjoy and learn more about the diversity within the Asian culture. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudine. So right now I want to introduce my honoree for this important month. Today, I'd like to introduce immigration attorney and partner at Minami, Tamaki, and Minette Kwok. Minette has overcome what I'll read a few things about you before you get to speak. Minette has over 20 years of experience securing visas for immigrants who work as entrepreneurs, engineers, and filmmakers. Minette's desire to work in the immigration law stemmed from her parents' experience immigrating to the U.S. in 1946. While studying at UC Berkeley in the 70s, Minette's passion for civil rights and ethnic pride grew as a result of the many campus protests, especially during the Vietnam War. She later became the executive director of the Asian Legal Services Outreach, leading a team of attorneys advocating for immigration and housing rights. She credits her experience at Apollo as part of her inspiration for her to pursue her law degree. In addition to her daily work at Minami Tamaki law firm, where she is a partner, she serves on the National Board of Trustees for the American Immigration Council, advising on national policy affecting immigrants seeking to work and contribute their skills in this country. Recently, she successfully represented the State Bar of California before the California Supreme Court in the matter of Sergio Garcia, an undocumented immigrant who applied for the California State Bar, but was almost prevented from doing so due to his immigration status. Thanks to Minette and her team's advocacy on his behalf, he was ultimately admitted to the California State Bar. The state Supreme Court's decision followed a bill that Governor Brown signed last fall, allowing the State Bar to admit undocumented residents who meet all requirements to practice law. And on January 1st, 2018, California became the first state in the country to license undocumented immigrants as attorneys. Minette was quoted as saying, "Whether it's reuniting families or working to grant refuge or safe haven to someone who's been persecuted, or it's someone who wants to this great job or wants to carry out their vision for a business, immigration law is really about possibilities," she says. That's the part that is compelling for me. That's quote unquote. In the community, Minette also serves on the advisory board for the Center for Gender and Refugee Studies at the University of California, at Hastings School of Law, as well as on the board of the directors of the Asian Pacific Islander Legal Outreach, which provides services to those facing domestic violence and human trafficking. Not only does Minette work on behalf of immigrants daily, she mentors younger APA attorneys. One of her former mentees is Ivy Lee, Chief of Staff to Jane Kim's office. And this is what Ivy Lee said. When I was a young attorney trying to understand immigration law and policy on the American Immigration Lawyers Association's regional board, Minette helped me demystify processes and made me feel very welcome under pressure. She always acted with great poise and calm. Minette is a leading national expert on immigration policy and is a frequent speaker at the regional and national conferences and panels. For 3 straight years, from 2014 to 2016, Minette has been selected as one of the top 50 women Northern California super lawyers. That's quite an accomplishment. From 2004 through 2017, she's been named a Northern California super lawyer by Law and Politics magazine, an industry-wide poll which identifies by peer review the top 5% attorneys in the field. So she actually has 1 million of these type of honor distinctions, but I'll let her talk about herself. Minette, today we recognize your commitment to advocating on behalf of all immigrants, regardless of nationality, and your continued advocacy to make sure America remains a land of opportunity for immigrants from all over the globe who wish to use their talents and skills to better the lives for their families and their communities. This is Minette Kwok. Give her a warm welcome.
Thank you very much, Supervisor Yee, and to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. This is quite an honor for me and quite unexpected. So I appreciate the recognition, especially since so many of my colleagues and friends in the city are so involved and so active in the Asian community and have done so much. They should be standing here with me or instead of me. I've been practicing immigration law for close to 30 years, and I have to say that the last 1.5 years has been by far the hardest. Every day we face an immigration service and a mindset that is mean-spirited and unfair, inconsistent, anti-immigrant in the way that they approach the law, and it has been discouraging and a struggle and stunning sometimes, the kind of decisions that they're making, be it at the airport or at the border or at the consulate or in the courts or in detention centers. The lack of humanity that we're seeing is something that I never thought I would witness. At the same time, I'm so grateful to be an immigration attorney and to have the years of experience that I've now accumulated, because our clients and our communities need us. People are leaving, people are being denied entry, people are being told to leave or being deported, and it's a really sad state of affairs, but together with 14,000 other immigration attorneys nationwide, we're fighting back and we're servicing as many people as we can. I want to thank the city for being a leader nationally in all the policies that the Board of Supervisors have taken over the years, be it in the commissions that you've formed, the positions you've taken on immigrant rights, and your position on sanctuary. Thank you so much.
Thank you again and congratulations.